Freddy.
Freddy? But your name's not Freddy.
No, but that's the least of my worries. That reminds me of the time we just did those cheese puns for like hours. The bread ones are better, in my opinion.
I feel like cheese is easier.
Cheese is easier.
I'm a bit crusty on bread puns.
Oh my goodness. I love bread. That's gonna be the hardest part of like.
It's not a pun.
Cutting out. What?
It's not a pun.
I love bread.
You're the worst.
Oh, that's gonna be one of the hardest things to cut out of my diet.
Rye. It's a pun.
It is, yeah.
I'm not disagreeing with that. I'm laughing at the pun.
No, because like breads have like the starchy sugars, which isn't the best for you. So like it's not so much cutting it out completely; it's more so like limiting.
Yeah, but it's better for your health. Sourdough.
They don't call me pumpernickel for nothing.
They don't call you pumpernickel for something either.
Yeah, that's true.
Nobody calls you pumpernickel. That was a failed experiment on our part.
It's still my character's name in Borderlands on the Xbox 360. Mordecai's. I renamed him to Pumpernickel. Just like how I renamed Brick in our playthrough to
Renamed?
Gobblewalker.
Yeah, like you can change their name.
No, but you renamed him. What did you use his name?
You can't remember. That's why
I
he's
think,
having trouble.
I think it's Clammy Boy.
We don't know what your name is. Your name just appears as Cool Nick 113 does.
Oh.
So
That makes sense.
because like I changed my character's name because I changed it to Anna Marie, but
I'm not surprised.
you can't
'Cause
see the
it's
name.
basically Anna Marie.
Pretty much. Her hair is a bit too long, but other than that, it's fine.
Yeah.
Anna Marie tends to have pretty short hair.
Ugh. Yeah.
So, shall we begin our episode?
Yes, we should. We shall.
Welcome to SquareTableWeekly.
Weekly!
I'm Matt.
I'm Trenton.
And I'm Nick.
Different order.
Sweet.
Is it?
Usually he starts.
What is the table topic question of the day today? There, Matt.
Not that one.
Why? Are you saving that for a later date?
No. If you named a pet after a sci-fi character, what would it be?
Sorry, what? If you name your pet after a sci-fi character?
What would the name be?
Yeah, it's a much better question than the other one. Sci-fi.
If you named your pet after a sci-fi character, what would it be?
Does Trogdor count as a sci-fi character?
Trogdor?
Yeah, viral video from like way back when the guy was like making a hard rock song and Trogdor's like a dragon with one arm. No, that doesn't count.
I guess if I had a pet, name it Brick after Brick from Borderlands 1.
Okay.
Still sci-fi.
I mean, that's true. Does Pokemon count as sci-fi?
I don't know.
I
I guess
kind of...
technically it's a different biology than...
Yeah, it's a different biology.
So that's technically a science. It's a fake science. It's a fake biology is science fiction. So I guess technically,
so.
but that's weird.
Because then I definitely have a lot of names, depending on what kind of pet I get.
For a fish.
Oh, for a fish, I wouldn't bother naming my fish. Because
Magikarp. Idiot.
I guess. I wouldn't name No, like, okay, if I got a cat...
I don't mean that. I love Nick.
If I got a cat, I would probably name it
Too
either
much, some would say.
Litten or Bidoof.
What?
You would name her cat Bidoof?
Maybe.
If it's like a super like
If it's a fluffy cat, I would name it Bidoof.
Yeah, that
If
makes
not,
sense.
I'll name it Litten. If I get a pig, I'm going to name it Tepig.
Okay.
And if I get a dog, I'm just going to name it Dog.
You're gonna name your dog Dog?
And I'll probably name it John Wick.
John Wick. That's a good... That's not sci-fi.
It's not sci-fi, but...
I mean, I think it would be a better option to be John Lick.
John Wick.
John Wick, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I don't know. See, I basically have names for animals picked up, but none of them are science fiction. I'm trying to think what science fiction.
Just name it Shepherd.
No.
That's a weird.
I mean, I guess Levelin? I forget how to pronounce it. But if you're an elf in Dragon Age Inquisition, it's your last name.
That's not sci-fi.
It's fantasy.
Yeah, that's true.
Fantasy.
But then where do we also draw the limit between fantasy and sci-fi? Because like if you think
Magic
about
is just science we don't understand.
yeah, there's that. But then there's
No,
also
but yeah, because that's the only thing I could think of that's kind of even close, but it's not close at the same time. I don't have a science fiction name.
not even Yoda. You wouldn't name a cat Yoda.
No, Yoda's a crap bag.
What about? I don't know.
Yeah, see, that's the
Obi-Wan
issue.
Kenobi.
Is I have no idea. No.
Gantu.
No.
Lilo and Stitch. That's technically science fiction because that's aliens.
Yep, but no.
I don't know.
Yeah. I can't think of anything from a science fiction that I would name a pet.
I don't even know what.
Yes? What was that?
I was about to say I don't even know much science fiction. Basically, my science fiction is going to just Star Wars and like if we count Pokemon, then Pokemon. If I knew more about Star Trek, then I would say, hey, maybe a name from Star Trek, but I don't.
I see. Yeah.
I wouldn't name a cat or a dog or anything Klingon.
You would name your cat Spock?
I would name a dog Spot.
I mean, I guess the
Spock.
thing about science fiction names, if I'm naming one of my pets a science fiction name, but not because it's science fiction, just because I think it's funny, does that count?
Sure.
Because I think naming a dog or a cat Kirk is super funny. Because animals with human names are hilarious, but it's not because it's, it's not after Captain Kirk. It's just because it's a human name on an animal, which is super funny. So,
Yeah.
I guess if anything,
Rex.
if I had a bird, maybe I'd name it Skywalker.
Oh, that's actually...
I was gonna say if you have a dog, you'd name it Rex. Right?
Yeah, but that wouldn't be after the.
Captain.
That would be after
Rex.
Captain Rex. That would just be because it's a dog name, and I wouldn't do that because I'm not. If I have a dog, it's probably gonna be named Marshmallow.
After the DJ? Or just because?
I mean, no, but time-wise, yes.
What?
I would name my dog, time-wise, Marshmallow after the DJ.
Oh, that makes
But
sense.
not after the DJ.
That makes sense.
Not
There we go. You get it now.
I'm very confused.
nomenclaturally. Yeah, I don't know if I have... Like, Skywalker for a bird is the closest I can come up with.
I like that one.
Although, if we are going with Pokemon as science fiction, Murkrow for a bird would also be great.
True.
Squirtle if I had a turtle. Honestly, if I had a cat, I'd name it Squirtle. Because I think that's great. I just like Squirtle.
Squirtle. Squirtle.
If I had a dog, maybe Growlithe.
Just name a dog Bark. I don't know. That's just been something I've always thought would be funny.
I'd name a cat Dantooine. And call it Dan for short. That way I get the best of both worlds. A science fiction name and also a human name to call it.
Dan.
Hey, Dan. Stop peeing in my shoes, Dan!
If that's when you tune into the podcast,
Why did
That
you
would
tune
be
in there?
hilarious.
This isn't a live stream.
yeah. But like, I mean, like if someone else is listening to it and then you just walk in on the room and you just hear, "Don't pee in my shoes, Dan." It's like,
Little Dan needs to stop peeing in my shoes.
yeah,
That is true.
I want a cat.
I have a cat.
We don't brag about it.
I'm sorry.
I don't think you are. Build a game.
Oh yeah.
So,
Nick.
for this week,
Whoa.
I'm just gonna clarify. We're gonna cover another mechanic in our game, and some of us are still figuring it out where we're at. So we might not have exactly like hyper details here, but that's usually the case with every build a game section in all our episodes. So, Nick, would you like to start us off?
Say no.
Sure. I'll start off. So similar to the last episode, mine's gonna be focusing on like resources and crafting, but this is more towards the RPG side.
So you did the
I did the
RTS side
RTS
last
side.
time. You were going to do the RPG this
Yeah.
time.
Yeah. So your character, like, because there's an RPG and you have your own custom character, you will be able to like upgrade armor and upgrade weapons in a way, or kind of craft more. And then, yeah, I'm just blanking right now. So some of the resources that you get through the RTS side will be used to upgrade your own character. So like maybe you want to upgrade his armor. So okay, maybe you got some sort of space metal and you're like, okay, now I'm going to use this to actually, instead of use it to upgrade my troops, I'm going to use it to upgrade the armor on my hero. So like there will be some similarities between the resources collected, but like there's going to be special ones for your character. So like an example, let's go with elf, one of the space elves. Now, maybe you have an energy type sword, and it's like, okay, I want to upgrade it. So it's like, okay, you'll find like some sort of like plant or something, and you'll craft it together, and you'll have an even stronger energy sword. Okay. I haven't really thought much.
I know
of this
when I have a super powerful energy sword, I just like to wrap a vine around the handle, and then it's an ultra energy sword.
Yeah.
I'm guessing there's some magics involved.
There is quite a bit of magic
I
involved.
don't
or
believe you. I
science.
think you just like stab it through a dandelion, and it's like it's better now. It's a placebo effect. If the sword believes it's better, the sword will be better.
Oh boy.
Hopefully not that.
Yeah, no.
No.
No, there is definitely magic involved in like the crafting and upgrading. So like yeah. Or if you want to make like a laser bow, which is one of the things I just thought of.
I misheard that. I thought you said a laser boat. Like that'd be pretty cool.
Boat
Laser bow.
made
Oh,
of
that's also pretty cool.
Laser bow. Yeah, like,
laser bow.
like for that, because it uses different munitions, you can upgrade that. So it's like, okay, I need to get this specific rock of this certain like rarity, or
Is it a laser bow, or is it just a slingshot?
it's a laser bow. It looks
This rock is
like a
better.
bow.
But like I'm guessing the rock or / crystals are part of how the
Yeah.
laser is made.
Yeah, you.
I don't know. I get it. I get what you're saying. It's just super funny to me to think like, I need to upgrade my weapon. I got a rock.
I got an apple. I got a pen.
I got a jar.
Now I got a grenade.
What? How did that work?
You light the
Magic.
pen on fire. It's the fuse for the apple. Come on.
But
Are you
yeah,
not following this crafting process?
so
Yeah, that's what it does.
there will be different stuff, different like resources to collect, and there like what Matt said last time in his like different rarities. I'm definitely gonna have different rarities of stuff, so depending on what rarity you go with to like upgrade, you'll have better upgrades. If you have if you're gonna craft and use higher rarity. Oh boy.
You have higher rarities.
Yeah, you
so-
have higher rarity stuff that you're using to craft. You'll make a better, stronger weapon. So let's just say I have. We'll just go with. Okay, so I'll go in like levels for the rarity. So 1 to 5, 5 being the rare. So like let's say I have a level 5 rock, this level 5 flower, and like this level 5 piece of corn. And if I use those.
Excuse me?
I don't have like the names down. So, okay, so the rock, the flower, and the corn. And then they're like all
Corn?
yeah.
Okay,
No,
okay.
I'm
Let's just let him finish.
Space corn. It's sporn.
What? No.
Where are you getting this from?
Okay.
Anyway, so like you use the higher materials, and if you craft with that, you get stronger weapons. So
So is there inherently magic in all plants?
yes,
Okay. And the corn just happens to manifest that magic in a certain way that's desirable for what you're
Yeah.
doing. Okay.
I mean I don't know if I'll actually have like a corn, but like
Trenton
I
is currently naked.
Untrue. Don't believe him.
I
so
have to get you involved in the conversation somehow. You were just slowly losing the will to live over there.
so that's mostly like for like the RPG, like armor upgrading, weapon upgrading, armor crafting, weapon crafting. Now again, this is gonna be more so from like bosses and stuff, like when you have to go into the RPG part and you actually have to go and fight bosses, they'll drop specific items, which you may or may not use, but like those ones will be like level 6 gear, which gives you like the rarest like stuff. Rarest items, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Rarest materials?
Yeah, the rarest materials. And like those will be super hard to get. And like with the way I envision it, you're going to use like 3 different things to like craft, and every time you use like those 3, like you have 3 different options of what it's going to be, depending on what, well, yeah, there's 3 different options for whatever you craft with.
Like with crafting, is there a primary slot and then 2 secondary slots to put your materials in, and then whatever you put in the primary slot changes what it's going to be?
In a sense, yes.
Or is
so
it just like a 33% chance for each of the items, and you're just like, hope that's the one I want?
More so like the primary with the 2 secondary crafting options, and like it. But again, like depending on like so
it's like Taco Bell.
Yeah.
Depending on what it's all the same stuff. It just depends on what they make the focus of the dish.
I mean, you're not wrong. Like the way I see it is like, okay, let's just say I'm using this. I'll use a rock as my primary, and then I have a corn and a flour as the secondaries. So I'll craft with that. But just because one person's doing that and another person's doing the exact same crafting,
You're really going hard on this corn thing.
that's the first thing that came to mind. Okay.
I don't know, it just surprised me. Do what you want. It's just like
Space elves have space corn.
I
So
called
how do
you
have
out
their
on the
swap
corn. I like kind of called you out on the corn, and you're just like, I'm just gonna go harder with the corn.
Keep going, man. Don't stop.
Okay. So you have like the rock in your primary, and then the flour
I
in
think
the corn
Trenton's
in
getting
your
hangry.
secondaries. Basically, you can have 2 people playing the exact same game, and you can have them craft the exact same thing with the exact same materials, but what you get as your end product will be different. So they'll kind of be like a pool of different things you can get. So it doesn't matter if you play the same way and you craft with the same items, you'll get a different weapon every time.
So you're leaning into the random generating aspect of
RNG.
Yeah. It just I don't know. I feel like having like the RNG in like crafting kind of like throws the game for a loop where it's like, okay, I definitely know that when I play this game, it's not going to be the exact same.
Okay.
So, and then also along the like resources gathering for the RPG element, there will be certain like, I don't know, let's just say you decide to go visit like an elf village or elf planet, I guess. They give you certain resource, and you can use those resources to upgrade yourself. So like you have like the different abilities and stuff. It's like I'm not going to go too
Tape
much
a
into
clam to your arm.
basically. I'm not going to go too much into like the whole
armor.
like upgrading abilities, but like you also have to do resource collecting to upgrade yourself. So you get different like magic or different science stuff, different abilities. And then the same with the cyborgs. Like maybe you have this one arm, but you want to upgrade your arm because technically at that point you can count the arm as armor. Mm-hmm. So it's like, hey, I have this. I don't know. I have this arm made out of mercury. Maybe I want to make it out of titanium now. So you collect 4 corn. And then you have a titanium arm.
How does that...
Magic.
That doesn't work.
Magic and science.
I'm not 100% sure I understand your crafting system
I
because
don't-
it doesn't make any sense.
Those aren't actually like what you're gonna find. There's gonna be like
Yeah, but
different.
you could at
things.
least make it like...
Okay, you find
you
some
find
sort of-
titanium so you
Yeah.
can make your arm
Okay, so
into titanium.
you have like 1 titanium, a rock.
Then
and
you
then-
add the magic corn.
When you
and
mix...
then, and then you make it a magic titanium
I
arm.
get it's magic corn. But if you mix mercury and corn, you don't get titanium.
Are you sure about that?
Yes. You get gross corn.
So that sounds wonderful. So like
Remember, these are all games still in thought
yeah.
and not actual
Yeah.
games. So
So the crafting and the upgrading will be fairly similar. With crafting, you have like the primary and the 2 secondaries, and you put in whatever. Whereas with the upgrading, your primary slot is going to be filled with what you're upgrading, and then you just put in the 2 primaries or 2 secondaries. I mean, so it's going to be fairly simple to use, but
And if you do 2 corn, then obviously your weapon turns into titanium.
yeah,
nice.
or something. So that's basically what I have.
Matt, do you want to go next, or do you want me to go next?
Either or. You want me to go next? Do you want to go next?
Do you want
I
some
can go
magic
next.
corn?
You stop talking.
Nick, stop it with the corn, please. Anyways, I'll go next then. So for my
He
game,
just doubled down on the corn when I called him out on it.
I know, right?
I'm not gonna stop with the corn.
So for my game, back on track, people. For my game, another mechanic I'm going to explore today is vehicles. So in the game, there'll be definitely different levels where you can use vehicles. So there'll definitely be flying. So there'll be options in sense of how you want to set up your plane, whether or not you want a certain weapon or weapon types. Obviously, back in the customization side of things, you can customize it as well, but leaning more into the mechanics side of things, so you'll be able to sort of have a loadout for your plane in a sense for that part, and you'll get maybe a mission briefing beforehand, and so that will give you kind of an idea of, okay, maybe I want more just like machine guns because I don't need any high powered stuff in this next one, or maybe you want more bombs like to your disposal, but you'll have less ammo for your machine guns. Mm-hmm. Kind of trade-offs like that. Maybe you'll be like, I want more armor on my plane, but your plane will have less maneuverability versus maybe less armor, but like your plane it's very nimble. There will also be a few other vehicles as well. At least there should be a tank, at least a few missions where you play as like a steampunk tank, which is going to be pretty interesting, and that's going to have a bunch of options sort of similar to the idea of planes as well, with different munitions, barrel sizes, so different kinds of munitions, and that coincide together, as well as maybe a different engine, steam engine powers, so you can be more maneuverable or pull more weight if that is the thing needed. And as well as I think the third option would be the third vehicle would be like a Jeep of some sort, maybe close to the Warthog from Halo, but more varied than that. I don't know. I haven't thought too much on the Jeep part, so that's why it's kind of my last one's a bit more of a little bit, not a ton thought process into that. Anyways, those are my vehicle mechanics for my game.
If your barrel size is big enough, can you shoot corn out of it?
No, because it will superheat and you'll have space popcorn.
Why would there be space popcorn? He's on Earth. It's alternate Earth.
Okay, then you'll have popcorn.
He's not in your universe.
Oh, my word. Why did you have to come back to the corn?
Because we're just really corny people.
You guys
You
are
need
corny.
to stop talking.
No, I refuse.
So to answer your question about corn, they wouldn't use corn as ammunition because it would be incredibly ineffective.
I don't know. Have you ever been hit in the face with a corn cob?
It would be like in Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time when you're battling Ganondorf and you just pull out the fishing rod where he just stops his attack and just stares at it. Wouldn't it? They'll be just like, what? What is happening?
Except they'd have gotten hit in the face with a corn cob going like 100 miles an hour. It would stop them for sure.
What?
Yeah, no corn in my game.
Does corn
None.
even exist in your
Oh,
Zero.
okay.
Zero.
Wow.
It's been wiped out.
That's a bold choice.
It's been wiped out from existence. They used to have it, but now no one remembers that
People
they
ate too
had
much popcorn. People got super excited when popcorn became a thing, and they're like, I'm going to eat all of it. And they did.
it. Anyways, Matt or Nick, do you have any questions for me? If not, Matt, go ahead and start talking about your mechanic. If you,
I have a question.
You do?
Is it corn-based?
No.
Good.
Do the tanks and jeeps float? Or is it wheel?
Well, tank would have the usual treads.
The treads, right. I mean, you don't have to have treads, but...
No, I think it would be
Isn't
more
that what
on
makes it a tank?
treads.
Mammoth from Halo. 16 wheels. 16 wheels? Or
That's
turbo
the
tank
mammoth,
from Star Wars.
not a tank.
Isn't that a tank? Oh, that's an armored transport. Never mind.
That's an armored transport, so not a tank.
Turbo tank from Star Wars. that had wheels. Anyways, I don't know. So, I guess what my question is like, because it's steampunk, are they going to be more traditional with like the like wheels and stuff, or is it going to be more so like weird in a steampunk way? I don't know if that makes sense.
With the aesthetic of World War 1 and 2. So
like
not modern style technology.
So basically like the small like just tube around the piece of metal for the wheels in a sense.
Maybe.
Okay.
Sure.
I don't know where I'm really going with that question. I don't know. I just thought it interesting.
Okay. Matt?
Okay, so I have mechanic to talk about.
Corn.
It is the mechanic of growing corn.
Farming
it does not exist in my game.
Okay, because you're on water.
Yeah, you don't farm in water. No, I'm talking about leveling up. I'm talking about the mechanics of leveling up in my game because I don't know what else to talk about. I could talk about combat, but I'm not 100% sure on that. I'm not 100% sure on leveling up, but I feel like I'm a bit more sure. So it's a little bit like Skyrim, where it's like, here's all the stats for basically the whole thing. Level them up. You don't have to choose a class or anything like that. Did I say you had to choose a class when I first started talking about character customization, or I talked about appearance mostly, right?
I'm not sure.
Well,
I can't quite remember.
I don't think I ever talked about choosing a class.
I don't recall.
But you don't have to choose a class. If I did say you did before, you don't have to now. I've changed my mind because I can do that as the creator of this game. So you have all the stats basically available to you. You choose... I guess I pretty much only talked about like appearance customization.
Yeah.
I never talked about mechanical customization in the customization one I talked about.
Like for the ships and stuff? Or
for all of it.
Oh.
Because last time I talked about character and ship customization.
Yeah.
Not last episode, but
One
of the episodes.
2 episodes ago, I think.
Yeah,
I don't
2
know.
or 3. But yeah. So when you first make your character, you build all the stats like standard RPG stuff. I'd say like Fallout 4, where you have like your list of stats, put points into them to start off with, name your character,
It's kind of like a limited amount of points you can put
Choose.
in there.
race and gender, and that'll change maybe. Those will give you stats depending on what you choose. Well, I think I may have talked about that. And one of them may give you more points in a specific stat already, like strength. Dwarves are going to have like a bonus point in strength automatically just based on
So more like
strong.
D&D
Strong.
when you're creating your characters, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Closer to that.
Yeah. And that's basically how you start the game. And then leveling up is like Skyrim, where you have... It's a little bit of a mixture of Skyrim and D&D, where like you can choose like to put points into your stats.
Right.
You can choose like what stats to put points into, but then you also have like Skyrim type abilities, like how they have like, hey, this is a school of magic, like conjuration versus
Apparition or necromancy.
illusion or
Stuff like that. Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
So you can choose that, and then you'll have like mechanical bonuses in those things. Because like, what was it? Destruction magic in Skyrim. One of them gave you the ability to like your destruction spells was just more powerful.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So like stuff like that, and that's a different set of points than it is for your stats.
Okay, so you get like stats points and then like skill points.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. I like that.
And a little bit like Dragon Age Inquisition as well, where there's like multiple trees you can go down for like...
Different focuses.
Yeah. I was going to say subclasses, but you don't have like a main class you choose.
So this would be more like...
Payday 2, in a sense.
Yeah.
'Cause
A
you have-
little
Yeah,
bit
I'd-
like that.
I'd
with
say-
the idea that there's not like a class you're choosing, and you can kind of put points in multiple
Yeah. Okay.
types of classes, but not really Payday 2. Really the only aspect of like multi-classing essentially.
So would it be, in a sense, would it be more
But you're not
so
choosing
like,
a main class. You're just kind of
Right.
choosing abilities from a wide range of skill sets.
Okay.
It'd be more like Skyrim in the sense that,
You're not limited in
Yeah.
choosing a class and then only getting certain things for that. You can
But, like,
choose whatever you want from this whole
each
whole
tree
range of
would be
skills.
focused like Skyrim, where this is one-handed weapons. This is
Yeah, a
two-handed
little bit
weapons.
like that. Maybe not those specific categories, but like
something along those lines where it's like,
here's
this is
melee
dedicated
weapons, here's firearms,
Okay.
here's magic,
And like
And then-
ship sailing or whatever.
yeah,
Piloting.
yeah, stuff
Okay.
like that.
Okay.
So that's
Interesting.
I feel like I had more for that, but I totally forgot, or I already said it, and I just think I had more for some reason.
Okay.
But yeah,
So, moving to the next part, we have reviews with Nick. Nick, you
Oh.
got a review for us
Oh, I have
today.
a very good review.
What are you reviewing?
So before I get to what I'm reviewing, there was a game that we talked about a few episodes ago that they were releasing on Steam, and everyone's really confused about it. So it's the Master Chief Collection, but I'm not actually reviewing Master Chief Collection because why not? No, Halo Reach, because they're bringing that to
Master Chief Collection is like 6 games.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
He can do that if he wants, but that's a lot to review, and we only have an hour.
yeah. But no, the game I am going to review is Halo Reach. So just a little bit of information.
Yeah.
A game we all played a lot.
Oh yeah.
Yes, we played a lot of that game.
The very first game I played on
They've
my
both
Xbox
definitely
360.
played more than I have in it.
Well, I think I got to like you know how there was the leveling system, and like after you finish like the military levels, there was like a claimer and like all those things.
No, because I never got that far.
I think I've reached the first one of that.
I didn't go that far in the ranking part, but I
forget what
played
my
a lot
rank was.
of my time in like Forge. But I think
Yeah.
you'll get to all these things
Yeah.
in your review. So let's let him
I will.
review this game.
All right. So just a little bit of information about the game. So this game was created by Bungie, which is actually really amazing because Bungie was great back in the day when they did this. It was published by Microsoft, so it is a Microsoft exclusive game until Master Chief Collection is released on Steam and PC. Halo Reach was actually the 6th game in the Halo series, developed by Bungie, and it was actually the last one that they made. Also, it's a sequel. Wow, no, not a sequel. It's a prequel to the very first Halo game that came out. So Halo Combat Evolved, which was really weird. But
Wait,
it
why
makes
is
sense.
Reach getting put into the Master Chief Collection?
Because they can.
It's not Master Chief, though.
Yeah, now there's ODST.
It's purely because they can and they will.
Money.
For
No.
the fans, I
Yeah.
think is a bigger reason than money.
I'm okay with it.
Yeah. Okay.
Because they're asking for my
Yeah.
approval.
So the game was released actually quite a while ago. September 14, 2010.
Feels so long.
That-
It's like nearly a decade.
Almost, yeah.
9.5 years?
No, almost 9 years.
No.
It'll be 9 years this year.
8.5 years is what I meant to
Yeah,
say.
8.5 years. Like it's
You confused
old.
me when you said almost a decade.
I said nearly a decade, which
Yeah.
Still true.
Trent is
I
not
don't know.
wrong.
I know. It just confused me. 'Cause
Like,
my brain was
that's-
like, wait, no.
It's weird because like I did jump on a while ago to play some multiplayer, and it's still going. Not as big as it was
My
back
servers
when.
are still up?
Oh yeah, Microsoft doesn't turn off their servers. You can still play Halo 3 if you want,
I don't.
but
they shut down Halo 2.
yeah,
So they do shut down their servers. Just
okay,
it
but
takes a
Eventually.
long time.
eventually.
Okay, I just didn't realize
yeah.
that. Okay, don't need to jump down my throat, you weirdos.
Okay. So actually, another really cool thing is that it grossed $200 million.
It's not gross.
It grossed $200 million on launch, making it one of the fastest selling games on the Xbox of all time.
Wow. That's pretty good.
Within 16 days of release, they made over $350 million from merchandise. Like, there was the McFarlane action figures. They
I
had
was about to
those.
ask what merchandise, 'cause I didn't
Clothing,
pay
stuff like
attention,
that.
but okay.
Oh man, they made a lot of money.
They made a lot of money off that game. And like, I kind of wish that Bungie didn't leave Halo, because, yeah. But that's a story for a different time. So, I really loved the game. The campaign was very interesting. It had a really good story. I mean, there were times where like you wouldn't see half your squad. So you played as Noble 6 and you're part of Noble Team. Like there were times where you're like playing a mission and you wouldn't see certain characters from Noble Team. You'd be like, hey, I wonder where this guy is. And then you forget about him, and then the very last mission you're like, oh, this guy still exists? I'm talking about John. You literally did a sniper mission with him, I think, second mission in, and then you didn't see him until like the end, where he flies away. He's like, yeah, I'm going to go live.
Sure. It's been a while since I've played the campaign.
It's been a long time.
Yeah, he was the only survivor from Noble Team. Spoiler. I mean, it's been 8.5 years, so it's not a spoiler anymore. Yeah.
I mean, do we have proof Noble 6 is dead?
The books. They glassed the planet on top of him. So
For her, I played as a girl.
As 6, yeah. Yeah. So I honestly,
Girls
campaign
can
was
die
amazing.
too.
Okay, that's kind of dark there, bud.
So the campaign was
saying it's
actually
not
very
true.
interesting, in my opinion. I loved it because like it kind of brought in some of the old mechanics, but they brought in new stuff. So like, I know a lot of people didn't like it, but the armor abilities, I found that interesting. Where it's like, hey,
I liked them, other than the fact that sprint was an armor ability. If sprint had been just a thing, then
which they changed for Halo 4.
But I did like the armor abilities.
Yeah.
I really liked armor lock.
It was annoying though sometimes, where it's just like, hey, I'm just gonna go to.
It was a really good troll.
Oh yeah.
It was a really good.
It was good if you could use it against vehicles. And like
It was good if you turned armor abilities to unlimited, so it didn't turn off after like 3 seconds. So you could just set the entire game in armor lock.
Yeah.
And then at the very end, just be
You
like,
could still be
one
assassinated
kill,
while in
yay."
armor lock though.
I couldn't.
You can.
I'm a hacksaw.
Yeah. Another really good thing I liked about it was the character customization. Well, I mean, not really character customization. It was the armor customization.
Well, I mean, that's all you see of your character. It's not like you ever see their face. So I would call that character customization.
Yeah, the customization, I loved it a lot. Like, much better than 4 and 5, in my opinion. But, like, with this one, you had to... The more you play, the more credits you get. You could use the credits to unlock stuff.
I should play Halo Reach again.
It's a good game.
Now he's talking about it, I'm actually like, oh, that was a good game.
It was. Many sources have even said, oh, this is the best Halo game to date. And they've released, what, 3 since then? 4 or 5, and Halo Wars 2, but...
Halo
Wars is such its own thing, I feel.
Yeah.
Like, it's just set in the same world, but it's its own. It's a completely different game, essentially.
Completely different story, too.
Same world, same universe, I should say, because it's not on just one world.
Yeah, even like the leveling system was fair. Like you could play the single player campaign and you could still level up your multiplayer character to unlock new armor.
Could you?
Yeah.
Yep.
That's good.
I think I played the game on normal and then heroic 4 times. And then at that point I was like, hey, I'm already a captain. That's like what, level 20, 25, something like that. And it's like, okay, maybe I should go jump into multiplayer now. Which I didn't. I jumped into the firefight, which was another good thing about that. This good. Honestly, this game was just amazing. Like, campaign great, character customization great. The multiplayer was great. Like the different modes they had, like SWAT, capture the flag, Griffball. Griffball's always been my favorite. Yeah, firefight was great. Forge was great. I didn't really use it that much.
I used Forged a lot, and Forge was like a really, at least in Reach, was like a really big upgrade to 3's Forge. Mm-hmm. You could be like super precise with the things for like the first time, and the forging community like blew up in Reach. I remember I could watch hours worth of videos on YouTube of people showing off different game modes and maps. I would download like a whole bunch of these things.
Astronaut Dance was awesome, man.
That was a game mode a friend of mine made up, and we'd play that, which is basically big map,
jumping ability all the way up,
and low gravity.
Low gravity.
I think it was 0 gravity because you could do 0 gravity in this one. Super high sprinting or movement speed. but everybody was basically one shot, one kill, and all
because otherwise you would never kill each other because you couldn't aim well enough because everyone was so fast and jumping all over the place.
Everybody always spawned with random weapons every time. So
random primary went, random secondary.
Anyways, that was what we called
astronaut dance.
Astronaut dance, which is like
I make it every time I play a Halo game.
I think I still have it saved to my game right now.
And so like there's many other game modes. There's like basically modes where I played mode where you started at this bottom of this sort of like this tube, and the game would automatically made this so the game would automatically spawn like vehicles or other like smaller objects, and they'd start falling on top of you, and you had to jump on top of those things as they were falling on top of you to make it to the top. And there's like several levels of this, and once you made it to the top, you could like score a point for your team, and then that would be the end of the round, and you do go to another round. There was another one where it was a 1v like 3, where same kind of concept, except the person at the top was dictating what would come down by like pressing buttons, which were basically like mines that wouldn't kill you when they exploded, but like you'd launch like vehicles down or like soccer balls down, and people had to like climb over that. And there's another one that I've played that this was one of my favorite. I think it was called like Speed, and basically it was this huge square box at a 45-degree angle.
Yeah.
There was one zombie character that was in the sort of middle near to the bottom with like either a sword or a gravity hammer, and everybody else would hop into vehicles at the top, and you drive down, and at the bottom there was teleporters that teleport you back up, and you would pick up so much speed. There was no point in actually driving because you'd slide down and pick up so much speed. And
my goodness.
The people in the vehicles was their goal was to survive, and the zombie was to get everybody to his side. So that was one I played like a ton. And
what's that called? Like Infection?
Infection was a different mode.
No, it was using the same mode.
Right.
They used that a lot for different modes, but they would call it different things.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was the Bungie made one, right? Infection?
Infection was Bungie.
And then people would just like use that as the base game mode, and then
with custom
games over it.
Custom games, you could change all the rules, but like the Infection was like the mode that you could pit one person against the whole other team.
Oh, right, because like you were like the Flood or whatever, right?
Well, you didn't look like the Flood.
Wasn't there a mode
that was 4.
Oh, okay. Because I thought that was in Reach as well.
You didn't look like the actual Flood. That was the 4 where you actually looked
right.
like him. But anyways, that was sort of like, I'm jumping in with your review of this part because
you know more about this than I do.
More experience. That was like an amazing part, amazing experience.
You could also play as elites.
Yes,
which was amazing. And you could, depending on your level that your character was, you could be a different type of elite,
which is also awesome.
I think it would have been cool if they had given you like
customization for the elite.
The amount of customization they gave for the Spartans for the elites, but I recognize that that's not necessarily how the elites worked. So
yeah,
the Covenant worked. So they were just like, this is the armor you get when you're this level and this rank, and with Spartans it was just like, do what you want, bro.
Yeah. I just wish that they let you be Arbiter. That would have been amazing.
Yes,
because like I think it was just like, I don't remember. There was like Honor Guard, Spec Ops, Field Marshal, General. It's like, okay.
There's a Zealot as well.
Zealot, yeah. Yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah.
And as I said before, it will be re-released on the Master Chief Collection sometime in the future. There's no set date yet, so. But I actually have some, like, what are these called? Review scores that some, like, of
other
the big,
people?
from, like, the big companies. Like, this game did well. Like, okay, so Metacritic, which I definitely talked about, I think, with Pokemon, they give Halo Reach a 91 out of 100.
Well, Metacritic's the
big one.
No, it's the combination.
Oh,
they
right.
take from everyone.
Oh, okay.
Amalgamate it into one. So that's like the overview.
So the overview is 91 out of 100, which that's pretty good. Like, Eurogamer, 9 out of 10. Famitsu, 34 out of 40, which that just seems like a weird
They're specifically different.
Yeah.
I think they have 4 people that review it.
Oh,
each giving
they each
their
give it
own
like out of 10.
out of 10. That's why it's out of 40.
Right. That makes sense. GameSpot gave it a 9.5. Same as IGN, 9.5 out of 10. Like, it did amazingly well. Like, it even got some awards. So it got Best Sound at the GG Awards 2010, Best Multiplayer at Spike Video Game Awards 2010, Shooter of the Year at Game of the Year 2010, and then it actually got Game of the Year at Drunk Tank Awards 2010. So before they did the whole Game Awards, like the official one, where it's like, okay, now this is actually Game of the Year. Like,
got a bunch of awards.
Yeah. I know a lot of people were saying, yeah, this game, if they did get the Game Awards back then, Halo Reach would have been Game of the Year for 2010.
Most likely.
Yeah. I mean,
I can't think of any other games that came out that year anyways.
Yeah. Like, it's great. I love this game. I give it a 9.7 out of 10. So, the only reason, like, that 0.3 was because of the sprint, where it had to be an Arbiter ability.
That's the only thing.
That's the only thing. Like, and I guess because you couldn't play as Arbiter when you chose the elites, but
other than that,
it's
simple, small problems compared to all the good stuff.
Oh yeah, this basically, like I said, this is the first game I had on Xbox 360, and it's what introduced me into shooters and Halo and just being a gamer in general.
Nice.
So I definitely sunk in way too many hours into that game. So.
Okay, so I think our next section is 3 of the week.
Whew.
Does anybody have want to volunteer themselves to be first, or do you want me to go first?
Do you have 3? Because I don't have 3.
I should have 3.
I don't do a lot.
Yeah. Go ahead, Trenton.
Okay, so first off, this is maybe not the most amazing thing, but I found a game on my phone that I really enjoy. A friend showed me. It's called Crush Them All, and it's really interesting because it doesn't need you to like attach like your full attention to it. A lot of it runs in the background, so that's one thing I found this week, and I've been enjoying that. Another thing is on Steam, I revisited one of my older indie games that I had. It's not super old, but it's just like one I got a few years back. Let me find this on my phone just to make sure I get... Okay, it's called Deadbolt.
Deadbolt.
It's an indie game, 2D, side-scrolling sort of stealth killing game. Basically, if I remember correctly from the story, because I wasn't fully paying attention, you as the main character, you're like the Reaper, and there's several levels. Like the first set of levels focus around all zombie enemies, so they're like the zombie gang, and you want to take them all out.
Right.
And so things you can do is like you can eventually, after a few levels, you can start buying guns, so you can change your loadout. You'll have like a primary and then a secondary, and there's specific ones that can go in each, and there's limited ammo. You can like turn into smoke and go into vents, and so that will be in the background. Nobody can get you there, and you can kind of teleport to different areas. It's super fun, super challenging as well. It's kind of the game where it's like a trial and error situation. So you'll be like,
right,
I'll bust into this room, I'll shoot that guy with my shotgun, then I'll throw my hammer at the other guy, kill him, and then you'll try that a first few times, and then you'll finally get it, and then you'll be like, okay, now which room do I go to next? And you'll try a whole bunch of stuff, and soon you'll have like this formula that you go through that you figured out for yourself, depending on what kind of guns you have, and what guns you pick up after you run out of ammo. And you just go through the whole thing. Sometimes guns have silencers on it, so you can go take them out really stealthily. If you take them out with like melee weapons, that's also stealth. And then sometimes you like use a normal gun, but then they like all rush you, and then that's like a really crazy, and you have to take cover. Which is another thing you can do. So that was something I played. I kind of downloaded some custom maps, because they have some custom maps that you can download from the community, and so those were pretty hard. I had lots of fun with that. And then my third thing, which I probably might be the same amongst us, but is I played Borderlands Game of the Year Edition Enhanced.
Yeah.
We played that together, or we played the first one, not Enhanced. We started it.
Yeah.
But I played the Enhanced version. I started a character, Mordecai, and I played like until level 15 in one sitting.
Wow.
The first 15 levels is actually like really fast. And plus, I know the game pretty well, so I was going very efficiently through it, and I was having lots of fun. So those were my 3 of the week.
Well, how many times have you beaten it?
At least, well, it's not that many. It's like 2-3 times.
Yeah.
At least twice on my own, and once or twice with friends.
Wow. Not bad. I guess, do you want to go next, Matt?
Nope.
Okay. All right. So, my 3 of the week. Wow. So I watched Shazam. That's going to be my first one. That was a very... I love that movie. Like, it's hilarious. There's lots of comedy. Zach Levi does a really good job of portraying a kid that's trapped in a human or an adult body.
Kids aren't humans. That's just in.
Yeah. But, like, it was great, and then, like, I don't want to spoil any of it because it just came out. Like, it was really good.
Please don't. I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, I'm not going to spoil any of it, but, like, it was really well done. Like, the characters, from what I've seen from, like, the comics, like, they were very accurate. Yeah, that's my first one. My second one is going to be Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. So I recently just started it back up and started recording it from a YouTube channel. But, like, oh my gosh, like, I finally played as, like, Piranha Plant, the first, like, DLC character, which is, like, the pre-order bonus one. And I'm like, okay, this game's just interesting. Like, it's definitely one of those games where it's like, I can put it down for a little bit. And when I go back, it's like, oh yeah, I can dive right in and just be like, okay, I know what I'm doing. This game's fun. And yeah, and now that's portable. It's like, hey, maybe go to the Smash Bros. Tournaments that they have. No, actually I won't because I'm not that good. And then my third one, that's going to be another game, Far Cry New Dawn. So I started that game up, and oh my goodness. They changed the formula for Far Cry. So, like, a lot of time Far Cry is just ridiculous and just doesn't make sense. They kind of kept it the same, but there's a more serious tone in the background for this one. Like, it's great. You get to see characters from Far Cry 5 because it's a direct sequel to it. So, like, I don't want to spoil too much from Far Cry 5, but, like, there's recurring characters and, like, you still get to customize your character. It's just great. It's Far Cry. Like, what else can I say? Far Cry's just great in general.
You really love that series, don't you?
Yeah, and it's funny because I never would have gotten into it, but one of my friends was like, hey, borrow my Far Cry 3. I did, and I was just like, okay, I'm going to go and buy it. And now I'm basically only missing Far Cry 1 from the whole series, so I love it. It's fun, story's great, and it's definitely something I can get lost in.
Mostly because he doesn't know how to find his way around.
Okay, that's in real life. In video games, it's easier to find my way around.
That's because you have a mini-map.
Not really. You have a directional meter at the top of the screen.
Anyways.
I guess it varies game to game.
Yeah.
What's your 3 of the week, Matt?
Borderlands.
Which one?
The first one.
Oh.
The one we played together.
Oh.
That was fun.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I recently got Worldwide Wrestling, which is the tabletop wrestling RPG.
What?
So, hopefully we can play that sometime.
Oh, that sounds interesting.
It looks super interesting. I first heard about it on One Shot. They played through it, and I loved it. I'm just like, when can I get it? And then I got it.
Not surprised.
But my number one at this point, that would be my number one if I had played it, but my number one at this point is the WWE 2K19 Universe mode.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Not surprised.
Which I've been playing pretty much all my free time this past week.
Past week. I think it's been more than a week, hasn't it?
No, I had to make everything for the universe mode, and then I could actually play the universe mode.
Right.
So, what I do, at least with one of my universe mode saves, because you can have like 3 saves, I delete everything from it, so I don't get Raw, I don't have SmackDown, I don't have like any of the pay-per-views, and I make my own custom everything. So I made a custom show. At this point I have 25 custom wrestlers, all with unique finishers, signatures, themes, and entrances. I made 12 pay-per-views, all with their own themes and arenas.
That's crazy.
Yeah. It took me a while. It took me a long time.
Especially with how I know you like to customize
I
characters.
have multiple tag teams with my wrestlers that have their own themes that aren't just like copies of their individual themes. So I had to make sure that those weren't overlapping with any of the pay-per-views, the show, or any of the other wrestlers. They have a decent number of generic themes in the game. Like entrance themes and music is songs. So that's really nice because that means I can do this.
Yeah.
What's your network called?
It's called SHW, or Stampede Heritage Wrestling, because we're from Calgary.
Yep.
And we used to have Stampede Wrestling. And so, my personal homage to that is Stampede Heritage Wrestling. Because I just think it's cool. And for shorthand, I call it The Show, because it's SHW.
Swifty?
Show.
Okay.
Just stop, Nick.
Okay.
Nick,
Don't
stop.
ruin this for me.
I'm sorry. You ruined my corn from last.
I didn't
was that
ruin
this
your
episode?
corn.
No.
I called you out for the corn, and then you kept talking about it.
Yeah. You didn't have to call me out on it.
I definitely did. You said you could craft things with corn to make titanium. I 100% had to call you out on it. But yeah, so I made me, Nick, and Trenton all in the game.
Yep.
It's pretty great.
Yeah.
And he puts a lot of effort into making himself and his friends.
I have to make it look like us, because otherwise it's just like, a generic wrestler. No, it's us.
And it actually bothers him if he doesn't get it right the first time. Because I remember, I think it's like me. You had one hairstyle for me, and then because I was there when he built this one because he wanted to have my input on it, and then he's like.
Whereas I played Nick in a few games, and I had his input on some of the other ones, so I kind of know what he wants.
But like I was like, cool, whatever. Do what you want mainly. And then I leave that day, and then afterwards he looks back and he's like, "No, that hairstyle does not look like my friend Trenton.
It's not
I'm
him.
gonna change it." And then next time I see him, I'm like, "My character's hairstyle's all different." But it's mainly Matt's choice, so I'm not.
I mean, if you want a different hairstyle, you can say it, and I'll change it. I just think it looks more like you.
I'm not mad that you changed it.
Your hair just isn't in the game the way your hairstyle is, so I have to go with what's closest.
Yeah.
My hairstyle isn't really in the game either. I just kind of... Mostly because I haven't gotten a haircut in like 8 years. No, it's been a long time since I've had a haircut.
Like 6 months, roughly.
Yeah, because I got it just before I started working at this job, and that was October 1st, and it's just been over 6 months. It's been like 6.5 months, roughly, so...
Yeah.
My hair's not tidy. Nick's really easy to get in the game, his hairstyle.
Well,
he goes with a basic hairstyle.
Yeah, but if I
looks good on him. I'm just saying.
If I had my last haircut before I cut my hair, would it be easy?
I mean, there's a lot. It just so happens that mine and Trenton's aren't really in the game,
which is weird.
It's not the biggest deal, at least to me.
Not to you. To me, it is. I want them to look like us, but yeah.
Yeah. So. That's your 3 of the week. Those were all of our 3 of the weeks.
But Worldwide Wrestling, guys, it looks so good. You choose like a wrestling archetype. I'm really into wrestling. If you guys didn't know, there's 2 things I love: Dragon Age and wrestling.
No one could have ever told us that you were into those things.
But like Worldwide Wrestling, you choose basically. There's a bunch of different character like gimmicks essentially like that.
Oh.
That you choose, and then you basically make your character around that. I'll have to show you guys like the one shot podcast.
Yeah.
About that one because it's so good. But yeah, you basically make a wrestling promotion, and then it's just so interesting. But yeah, that's my 3 of the week.
And I think that's
WWE 2K19 Universe, because I spent too much time in it.
Super Smash Bros. Ultimate.
Wasn't it Far Cry New Dawn? Wasn't that your number 1?
Oh, that was the last one I said. I don't know. I didn't really give a number
okay.
1 out of those 3.
Well, that was the point.
Oh, then yes. Fuck.
It's a little passive aggressive for you.
I'm exhausted.
okay.
Well,
I think that's it for this episode. Thanks for watching.
Thanks for listening.
Yep.
Or watching on YouTube, but you're watching a still picture.
You wouldn't watch it on YouTube, I don't think. You'd listen to it on YouTube while you're doing something else.
Most likely.
Yeah.
Unless you don't want to do something else. Then feel free to just sit and look at the picture.
Maybe one day we'll have stick figures just walk across, just for giggles. No.
If you're willing to edit that, 'cause I'm not a video editor. I had enough trouble getting a picture.